And here we are, spawning in the bottom left. In the blue, of course, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, he is Rogue. And his opponent in the bottom right, in the red, representing ITaX here, trying to fight his way on into the final match. And a rematch, a revenge match against Innovation. Give it up for ZOUN. Yeah, Bitterwood. Man, I love. Granted, the Wait music is not exactly Highlands music. It's more like kind of a Celtic theme than anything else. And Celts is more, you know, Ireland than it is Scots. But I have two favorite instruments in this world, and I know it makes me a little bit weird. But number one is the cathedral organ. I just think that is incredible. It is also the most complex anything that mankind has made until the telephone array. Not the single telephone, but the full array of telephones that had to be operated by an operator, you know, with the full switchboard and things. The cathedral organ was the most complex, that thing that had ever been created by humankind up until that point. As on top of that, and the second thing, of course, is the bagpipes. I freaking love the bagpipes. I know they're super polarizing, but I just love bagpipes. Anyway, we do have Rogue. He's going for a bit of an interesting build here in this game number one. He will take the gold as his first, the first natural. And I'm kind of surprised we don't see just a bunch of drones being pulled on over, but okay, we've got a couple. Now, if I'm ZOUN here, I just put my adept behind the mineral line and say, hey, you don't get to mine from this. So it's going to be interesting to see how Rogue does opt to really deal with that. Now, it does mean that the adept is not really going to be scouting out into the main base. And that is something. But yeah, I like this idea from ZOUN. He is going to go for an adept play in this game, and assuming Rogue is not going to all in with a bunch of roaches, which we haven't seen a roach war in yet, so it's certainly not going to be the earliest possible roach all in. Getting 4-gate glaives and shading your way between this position and the other one, or between this position and the main, that seems pretty good for the Protoss. But it looks like this adept will get found out here, as already Rogue was forced to build more Zerglings than he normally would want to, as he built 8 to try to deal with that, and maybe that's a harbinger of pressure. But no, Rogue, he's just going to continue to macro on up. But with how separate these three bases are, or at least the first two, the main and the natural compared to this third base, although I guess it's the main and the third compared to the natural, if we look at expansion timings. It's going to be a bit problematic here for Rogue to really defend now. He's doing a good job of pushing his creep out. Doing a good job of making sure that happens. So these Zerglings will call off another adept, but there we go. The wall is done. The stalker's not up yet. This is going to be fine. But okay, there we go. There's the Roach Warren on the way. I mean, Rogue has to know that he is inviting this type of build by expanding to that base first and foremost, by making it so that there's such a gap between his two bases. Oh, wait, though. ZOUN, he's doing the build he did against DRG. This is pretty cool. So this is actually only 3-gate glaives, not 4. And behind this, he's going to get a forge. He's going to get a robo. There we go. There's the robo on the way. And he's going to go for a +1 blink stalker or mortal timing. Which, again, it killed DRG massively because DRG was expecting this glaive timing that really ZOUN didn't commit to. And then, well, DRG built a lot of stuff, and then Rogue, well, he just kind of won a little bit later because, again, Rogue did not build, or because DRG didn't turn up hard enough. Now, it looks like Rogue may be making the same mistake. He may be preparing for a bit of an aggression here, and that is normally what happens. When you go for a gold base, you do spin it up for aggression, so we're going to have to see whether that is what Rogue's plan is. As a bunch of these adepts will find their way behind this mineral line. And actually, we'll get all surrounded here. That is going to be a bit unfortunate indeed, because it's only, I think it was only 6 adepts. Now it's going to be 4. Now it's going to be 0. And now ZOUN has nothing with which to defend this third base. And this is one of the downsides, right? Yes, he's going to warp in 5 more adepts, but that's not warpins that he wanted to commit with at the moment. So we have a lot more Zerglings on the way as this layer is going on up. Rogue's only on 37 workers. How many, so he has 3 Ravagers, no Roaches. Is this just kind of like a Speedling with 3 Ravager all in? Huh. So Zerglings are going to look for this around here, trying to drop the Biles on top of everything. Now the Shield Battery Overcharge is not going to last very long indeed, and these Zerglings are not going to fight the best against these Adepts. If we do have the Force Fields, will be somewhat good for the time being, but it feels like there's just too much Zerg here. As more and more Zerglings come streaming across the map, the Ravagers are too damn strong. GG, Rogue. He's going to take game number 1. And imagine how much better of a hold that would have been if ZOUN had not lost those 6 Adepts across the map trying to be aggressive. I think that's the key. I think if ZOUN has those 6 Adepts, he makes that hold. But I'm kind of curious as to whether Rogue went for that, just kept pumping Zerglings because of the fact that he killed off those 6 Adepts, or whether that was just something he was always planning on anyways. I don't know. Alright. Game 2 will be on Beckett, which probably is better for ZOUN. It's a lot harder to attack into the 3rd base. And I mean it's a lot less bases, so it's a little bit easier for ZOUN to hit critical mass compared to the Zerg if he wants to. That being said, of course, it also means that Rogue can run across. I mean, it is very easy to get your creep tumor, get your creep all the way over to the 3rd base of ZOUN and just kind of walk your queens across the map without actually having to do a queen walk. So we're gonna have to see what exactly our players do have in store for us here as we're loaded on in to game number 2. Spawning in the bottom left in the blue with a 12 full here in this game number 2 for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Rogue. And his opponent trying to claw his way back on into this series, get that revenge against Innovation in the final map. He is, for Alpha X, ZOUN. Now there is one reason why this map is particularly annoying for Zerg players, is it's 28, well, there are many reasons why this map is particularly annoying for Zerg players, but Exhibit 1A is it's a 28-second rush distance with the speed zones and everything else, which does, of course, mean... Is Rogues? Yeah, Rogue's gonna proxy hatchery, okay. Which does, of course, mean... that it's easier to get a hatch block, but look at this. We have the gate, we had the wall here for ZOUN get canceled. Is he just going to cannon rush? So already the probes are going to get pulled here to deal with deal with this hatchery, and B, deal with the Zerglings that are flooding across the map. It's only going to be 10. Actually, it's going to be 12, and we will have that expand coming on in, but I think this is just a build to delay a natural. I don't think this is actually a build to kind of do anything more than that, as we will have cannons going on down. Rogue's just going to commit to that. That cannon's going to go on down here. 4 probes have died. So much mining time has been lost, and yet, no, you know what? Never mind. We have more and more Zerglings on the way here, and it looks like Rogue is absolutely committing to this. Now, nice micro here from ZOUN is keeping his probes alive for the time being, but now it's just going to be a bunch of Zerglings diving on into the main base, where there are less probes. So less fighting ability, more and more Zerglings are on the way. A couple Zerglings will find the natural, and oh, look at this. They're going to get the cannon. The cannon will not complete. Oh, okay, it will complete now, but actually, you know what? It's going to have enough damage. It will have enough. Oh, is it going to survive? It will. Oh, man. ZOUN, nice play there. We'll be able to keep his cannon alive, which means this hatchery is going to be done a lot faster. But I mean, we have more Zerglings on the way. This is all in play from our blue Zerg player at this point, because, hey, it's Beckett. That being said, though, the cannon is now going to go on down here. More and more Zerglings are going to find their way across the map from both the inside and the outside. And, well, I think this is looking good for Rogue. Yeah, no, okay, well, the Queen's going to find its way on out here, which means this Zealot can't really fight nearly as nicely. 5 more workers do go on down. The Zealot is going to get targeted down. We do have a second one on the way, of course, but the Zerglings are still here. They're starting to snowball just a little bit, and the Queen can, of course, fire with impunity as the Zerglings get the surround. GG, Rogue is going to give us that final match that we've been looking for.